Time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, D-Day. Melissa victims restive as relocation deadline reached. Crime down. Jamaica to record lowest murder tally in decades. Unverified assertions. Former SSL boss declares innocence. In the business report, we have the final JSC listing of 2025. And later in sports, 5 trophy races up for grabs on New Year's Day.
At 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Yeah, we're here at Culture Works, the second staging.
Forward for the next staging of Skyline Levels Culture Works this Friday, 7 p.m.
The rebels them in town.
I'm here right now at Skyline with Culture Works.
More works, positive, hopeful. Skyline Levels, I man, season 2, Culture Works.
Every day we're going in circles.
Yeah, Culture Works.
Culture Works. It's like Culture Works started off a year, a great work for me.
Culture Work, yeah man, it's been a great journey.
Blessed love, we're at the Skyline Levels at Culture Works.
We're here again and a season 2, so I hope that you and your friend them come, right?
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of
Sagicor, building trust for generations.
Celebrating 55 years.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Wednesday, December 31, the final day of 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Thanks for joining us. Up first, the future of more than 50 families currently housed at the Petersfield High School shelter remains in focus this evening as government officials and local representatives respond to public concern surrounding the planned reopening of the school in January. Residents at the shelter in Westmoreland say ongoing miscommunication has left them confused. Carter M. Dean has been tracking this story.
One woman staying at the Petersfield shelter told CVM News that she has received mixed messages about when they will be moved and where they are expected to go, creating anxiety and uncertainty.
Mr. Andrews, I must leave off at 31st. And the kitchen must lock down the 12 o'clock. That Mr. Andrew and Desmond Mackenzie said. People there are here. Then we say now without people and say, I want to go one woman will have a pack up in there. Me tell my daughter say, me come back and me sleep out here last night, so me sleep on here. We don't have to respond to me bag them here. Me never move out anything. When they move out, we have to move out. You know, we get, if anything on my beat, we can run. All right. This morning,
you were told that police and security.
So they got beat me off, so we get scared. So when we get scared now, me tell me parents say we are go. So we then go on last night, me come back last night.
Another resident, Orlando Ennis, explained he is upset about the government's handling of the situation, adding he has not received any aid since arriving at the shelter and feels overlooked during the recovery process.
We have seen no Andrew, Mr. PM. We have not seen the councillor. We have not seen the mayor. We don't have a councillor. The councillor died a few months ago. And the mayor is supposed to take charge. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen the MP. We haven't seen anybody to say to the people, hey, this is how it's going to go.
But the shelter manager, J. Anthony Clark, explained that residents are not being put out. Instead, they are being relocated to another section of the school to reduce disruption when classes resume. Mr. Clark insists no one is being forced off the property, and the confusion stems from miscommunication among some residents.
So what we're going to have a double situation. We're going to be on the back side of the school, and the students are going to come. And that's why I'm saying that if you had moved off for space purpose, it has nothing to do with benefit. Don't say you come back and you didn't leave a sponge. It doesn't matter. 8 high school in Westmoreland, Petersfield is the only one that we have not started fully engaging our students.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Meanwhile, local government minister Desmond McKenzie is assuring users of the shelter that no one will be evicted. Here once again is Carla Ramdeen.
Local government minister Desmond McKenzie is dismissing claims that the government is evicting residents from the Petersfield High School shelter in Westmoreland.
This government has never indicated to anyone that shelters will be closed at 12 noon today. There are persons out there who are creating serious mischief, misleading the country, playing on the sympathies and the unfortunate state of persons who reside in these shelters. This government has given a commitment to protect the dignity of these persons, and we have no intention of moving anyone out of any shelters that is being used at this time, whether it is schools or community centers.
Minister McKenzie noted that the government had indicated it intends to begin the process of closing the shelter before 2025 ends. He explains closure will only take place when reasonable housing facilities are put in place for those who remain in the shelter, and long-term housing will be provided under the new social housing program.
We have found alternative location on the grounds of the school, behind the school, where we are now doing some temporary work to allow those persons in the shelters to go into that location. Already there are persons who have been using it, and we are going to be doing some work to ensure that the 50 persons, and it is only 50 persons, that are presently at Petersfield Shelter. Food for the Poor and a team from the ministry is down there in Petersfield as I speak, looking at locations to put temporary housing solutions.
In the meantime, Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, Dwayne Vaz, expressed concern over the timing and clarity of these arrangements. MP Vaz noted that Minister McKenzie had previously assured that alternative accommodations would be put in place, yet many residents remain without confirmed alternate accommodation.
While welcoming the reopening of educational institutions, I am calling for urgent clarity and action to ensure that families currently housed at the shelter are not left without safe and adequate accommodation. We fully support the reopening of schools and understand its importance to our children and the wider community. However, this cannot come at the expense of families, especially children, being displaced without certainty as to where they will go.
The government has announced a 2-week extension of the relief on import duties and general consumption tax following Hurricane Melissa. The measure, which was due to expire today, will now remain in effect until January 15, 2026. Finance Minister Favour Williams says, however, that this January 15 extension will be a firm deadline, noting that the decline in tax revenues at customs has been significant, with losses estimated at roughly $12 billion.
The relief of import duties and general consumption tax must cease on January 15, 2026. This date is a hard stop date, as Jamaica must move swiftly into the recovery and reconstruction phase and get the economy moving again. The government and people of Jamaica greatly appreciate all the donations from our friends and families across all corners of the world.
In other news, former Stocks and Securities Limited CEO Zachary Harding is declaring his innocence amid ongoing investigations into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at the company. In a press release issued through his attorney, King's Counsel Jacqueline Samuels Brown, Mr. Harding said he voluntarily attended the Financial Investigations Division on December 27, accompanied by his lawyer. The statement rejected reports of a pre-dawn arrest and said this was the first time he has been interviewed by investigators in 3 years. It also said there was no allegation that Mr. Harding benefited from or was involved in the misappropriation of funds from Usain Bolt's accounts or any other SSL clients. His attorney urged the public to refrain from spreading misinformation and to allow the justice system to take its course. Billionaire business mogul Michael Lichin says he's now reviewing repayment options in relation to AIC's outstanding bond obligations in accordance with the agreement reached with bondholders. In a media release on Friday, under the terms of that agreement, AIC has activated the 45-day period commencing December 31, 2025 to address the amount currently due, totaling $94 million in principal and interest. Now, this framework provides an orderly process for finalizing repayment arrangements while maintaining constructive engagement with note holders. Mr. Lichin is actively evaluating several options, including a full repayment of the bonds, settlement of the amount currently due within the 45-day period, and the potential sale of his shareholding in NCB Financial Group. He is working closely with his advisors and relevant stakeholders to determine the most appropriate and sustainable course of action. He says this process is focused on identifying responsible solution that best serves all stakeholders. Mr. Lichin added that he remains fully committed to meeting these obligations in an orderly and transparent manner. A decision on the preferred course of action is expected within the next 2 weeks, well ahead of the conclusion of the agreed period. Attorney-at-law Nigel Jones says a recent Court of Appeal ruling in a defamation case has important implications for how journalists are able to report on matters of public interest. CVM and Television Jamaica won their defamation case on appeal against St. James councillors Michael Troop and Sylvan Reid. Giovanni Dennis reports.
The ruling concerned a 2012 police military operation at the home of St. James Parish councillors Michael Troop and Sylvan Reid. The men sued, claiming that CVM and TVJ had damaged their reputations by reporting on the operation and on statements about the matter made by senior police officers. They won at the Supreme Court, but the media houses have won on appeal.
This was merely reporting on a matter of public interest. Responsible journalism was at play, and it was merely carrying the allegations as they were being made by the police and relaying the information without adopting or in any way trying to agree with what was happening.
That term that you used, responsible journalism, it came up a lot during this case. Yes. What does that mean?
It really is a balancing act, the balancing freedom, simply put, balancing freedom of expression with, of course, a person's reputation.
Mr. Jones explained that the Court of Appeal ruled that the media houses had practiced responsible journalism in reporting the story and had not adopted or endorsed the statements made by the police.
It would be almost unimaginable because it would result in if that Supreme Court ruling had remained, because there would be no case in which you could safely report on live activities.
He says the ruling clears the way for journalists to continue to report on issues of public interest even as events are unfolding.
It's a matter of, in this case, national significance. It's something that the public would have an interest in knowing because of the nature of the information. In this case, we had political figures involved. We had an allegation as it relates to criminal activity. In this case, we also had high-ranking officials of the police force making certain utterances in relation to the event. We also had, I believe, minister or senior members of government responsible for information also relaying that. So there could be no doubt that this was something that the public had an interest in knowing. It concerned persons who had been elected by themselves as well. So, I mean, it really speaks for itself.
But Mr. Jones says the ruling does not give media houses the freedom to report irresponsibly.
The starting point is, and if we had more time we could go into it, but the starting point is that the matter must be of public interest. So it's a narrow category. In fact, although it's a privilege which is given, it's within a particular context, so it must be of public interest. Having established that it's of public interest, then you need to deploy responsible journalism. So that is the catch. You can't just simply say, I can go out and defame because it is of public interest. You need to ensure that you follow the tenets.
And in 10 seconds, what should media houses pay attention to coming out of this case?
Well, the fact that at the end of the day, you have been given a certain latitude now, in a sense, because the principles have been fully defined. But at the end of the day, as they would say, with freedom there comes responsibility. So you still have to deploy responsible journalism.
Mr. Jones represented CVM in the matter.
It's time now for a break. Our news package continues in a moment.
We in this together, hands on hearts spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over 200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smile. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Digicel is gifting smiles this season. 64 lucky customers will win $250,000 cash, and the third two getting $50,000 in groceries. You can also win Samsung tablets, furniture vouchers, and so much more. Gift this far, you can keep your prize or re-gift all or part of it to someone who really needs a smile. This season isn't just about winning, it's about making sure everybody good. Cash Digital in your community, bringing gifts and good cheer to keep you smiling into the new year.
You know, some days are harder than others, but we have to do our part. You like porridge? We're in this together.
Morning, nurse. Thank you for what you do every day.
Come in, nurse. Our bona fide.
In this together.
Welcome back. We are continuing the news. Veteran radio broadcaster, author and media pioneer Alma Mok-Yen has died. She was 97 years old. In a media release, the Press Association of Jamaica said Miss Mok-Yen was a distinguished broadcaster whose voice, intellect and professionalism helped shape Jamaican broadcast journalism for decades. She was known for her calm authority, incisive interviewing style and unwavering commitments to journalistic integrity. Through her work, she set high standards for broadcast journalism and served as a role model for generations of journalists, particularly women entering the profession. Veteran broadcaster Faye Ellington reacted to her passing.
No, had it not been for Alma Mok-Yen, my over 3 decades of association with the Caribbean School of Media and Communication, previously called the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication, may not have happened. At the end of the diploma program in '85, Mrs. Mok-Yen offered me the opportunity to teach in summer school at Carmack, and the rest is history. There's so much that so many of us learned from Alma Makian. Perhaps the most outstanding of those lessons was the making of radio documentaries. And I have passed on that skill to several others. So Alma, your legacy is outstanding. So many of us have been impacted. It's time for you now to join up with some of the others, those who have gone on before you, the ancestors.
The man wanted in connection with a rape investigation at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education case in Portland is dead after a confrontation with police during an early morning operation in the parish. Police say the suspect advanced at officers with a machete and was shot. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Kevin Black has this CVM News follow-up.
A man wanted in connection with a rape case at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education case is now dead following a confrontation with police during an early morning operation in Portland on Tuesday. Shortly after 7:30 Tuesday morning, a team of police personnel acting on information went to the home of Winston Hume in the Norwich district of Portland. Hume was wanted in relation to a rape case reported at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education in December. According to commanding officer for the Portland Division, Superintendent Ainsley McCarthy, upon entering the premises, Hume became aware of their presence and emerged from the house armed with a machete.
And he emerged with a machete in hand. He was instructed to drop same. He did not. He advanced towards the police in a chopping position. The police took evasive action and fired. Mr. Hume was hit. He was immediately rushed to the Port Antonio Hospital, where he was unfortunately pronounced dead on arrival.
Police say Hume had previously been implicated in 2 other rape cases at the same institution dating back to 2021 and 2022.
On both occasions, these cases were before the court. The complainant in the 2022 matter migrated overseas, and the complainant in the 2021 matter became disillusioned after the matter was drawn out in court when the suspect showed glimpse of psychiatric problems, and so he was sent for psychiatric evaluation by the court.
While Portland has recorded a decrease in murders since the start of the year, police say sexual offenses, particularly rape, have been on the rise.
We now are at 12 rapes for the year, and we suspect that the suspect in this matter may be involved in several other cases in the parish based on his mode of how he operates when he rapes females. As such, he was wanted, and the reason why he was the subject of the operation this morning.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
7 people were killed in 6 separate violent incidents across western Jamaica over the holiday period. The deaths come as government and security forces continue to celebrate a historic decline in murders across the island. For the first time since 1994, Jamaica is closing out the year with a number many never thought they'd celebrate: 666. It's the count of reported murders as at December 27, the lowest the country has seen in 3 decades. But that national milestone offered little comfort to some communities in western Jamaica, as the Christmas holiday was a bloody one for them. 7 men were killed in 6 separate incidents, 3 in St. James, 3 in Trelawney, and 1 in Hanover between December 22 and December 29. The most recent incident occurred Monday afternoon in the Racecourse District in Falmouth sometime after 3 p.m. Reports are that residents heard several loud explosions and summoned the police. Upon arrival, the police discovered 2 men in a parked vehicle outside the Falmouth Garden Cemetery with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. The deceased have been identified as 33-year-old Horace Hilton and Javorn Francis. Now, Councillor for the Falmouth Division, Garth Wilkinson, says the men were not from the community.
Really and truly, we're really having a very quiet period. I think we enjoy the same enjoyment as the rest of the country because the murder rate was down. But since Melissa, we have had a few murders in my division. First a stabbing in Falmouth, and then there was 2 persons got shot, one succumbed to his injury in Zion, and now the 2 informed.
The incident that Mr. Wilkinson is referring to in Zion happened on Boxing Day. A man was killed and another injured following a brazen midday shooting. The dead man has been identified as 32-year-old John Peart. Reports said that Mr. Peart and another man were at a shop when a silver Toyota Mark X vehicle drove up. Men exited the vehicle and opened gunfire in the direction of Mr. Peart and the other man. Mr. Peart was shot multiple times and later died, while the second man, identified as Foster, was shot in the abdomen and taken to hospital, where he remains admitted. Roydell Hamilton is counselor for the Martha Brae Division, which includes Zion.
Although we have unemployment level in the Martha Brae Division, things will get better. I don't want you to resort to crime and violence. The year, at the ending of the year coming, Martha Brae Division, we never have much crime. So this is a blow right now. And I know the people feel, especially people of Zion, I know the police is coming in now to do their regular patrol and might dampen activities in the Zion community. I'm asking to hold strength, and let us look for a brighter future in the new year.
That same evening in neighboring St. James, 2 men were killed in separate incidents. One was found dead along Dunbar Avenue in Montego Bay with injuries that the police say are consistent with violence, while the other victim died after being stabbed during a dispute. 2 days earlier, in Cornwall courts, the body of a man was found slumped over the driver's seat of a parked motor vehicle. Police say he had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the neck. Now, Mr. Wilkinson said while he hopes the downward trend in murder will continue into the new year, there's a major issue the nation needs to confront.
When you have murders like these occurring, we have to start wondering what is really happening, what is the cause of it. And I think what happened is that Melissa's brought on some things that we have not expected.
Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Meanwhile, businessman and former Senator Dennis Meadows is calling on the Trelawney Municipal Corporation and the police to take stronger, more decisive action against crime in the parish. His call comes amid a spike in murders over the holiday period. But Mr. Meadows says the violence didn't begin with the holidays, noting that long-standing criminal issues have been plaguing Trelawney for some time. Here's Giselle Mills with the details.
One of 2 men gunned down in Falmouth, Trelawney on Monday afternoon is believed to have been a key figure in a drug for guns operation based in Westmoreland. Police say the men who were not from Trelawney were shot dead during what appears to have been a drug deal gone wrong in the racecourse community. And according to businessman and former Senator Dennis Meadows, this isn't an isolated incident. He says he's worried about safety in the parish.
Because I find that the murders are taking on some now a different tone. In the past, most of the murders were really domestic related. These I find a bit more violent and seem to be some tinge of gang connectivity, and that we find rather troubling. There's interlinkages between gang members in and out of the space. You'll be surprised to know that the gang in Falmouth or the players in Montego Bay are all interlinked. And sometimes they come here to do business, whether to buy gun or otherwise, and things turn sour. So, as I said, it goes back to proactive policing.
And Mr. Meadows says the Trelawney Municipal Corporation is also to be blamed.
There has been a urban migration as far as people from Clarendon coming into the space. We are seeing now 10 cities are being set up in the bushes, right? Unabated, right? Nobody seeks to check these persons, their antecedents and so on. They're allowed to build without the requisite approval, right? All of that is the mix and the responsibility of the Trelawney Municipal Authority. And that's what I tell you, even from the local authority, I believe that local government is a farce of a government, right? There are people that are paid there for doing nothing, right? Somebody building, you send out a stop order, it is ignored and building continues and there's no action taken. What's the point?
That aside, he says the business community remains under constant threat, with robberies continuing to plague the parish.
Somehow I don't get the sense, and I'm being honest here, I don't get the sense that the police takes robbery seriously. When you do make a report, that's it. No follow-up is made in terms of what is what. Sometimes even my business suffered a break-in a couple of months ago. And I have to almost doing my own policing and trying to ascertain who the perpetrators are.
Druselle Mills reporting for CVM News.
Stay with us. More to come after this break.
Celebrate being together with a KFC Festive 9 bucket for $4,500. The time by KFC is
7:30 p.m.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smile. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. Gift a smile.
Digicel is gifting smiles this season. 64 lucky customers will win $250,000 cash, and the third two getting $50,000 in groceries. You can also win Samsung tablets, furniture vouchers, and so much more. Best part, you can keep your prize or you gift all our partners to someone who really needs a smile. This season isn't just about winning, it's about making sure everybody good. Cash Digital in your community, bringing gifts and good cheer to keep you smiling into the new year.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Trans-Jam highways. The T-Tag system reduces the amount of cash handled at our toll plazas and makes it safer for our staff and motorists at the toll booths. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted by 50% down to $1,250, including a $500 toll credit from December 8, 2025 until January 2, 2026.
As a fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me. And I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Welcome back. Now to the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. As a leading integrated energy company in Jamaica, made a critical component of its operation that spans fuel import, storage, distribution, and retail services available to the public, as the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE hosted the final listing of 2025. Charles Chambers, chairman of WIP Terminal, spoke on how the listing is intended to catalyze the expansion of group operations and expose investors to a unique asset.
This is significant because there are no comparable assets trading on this exchange. And so this is a moment of great pride for us at WIP Terminal as we bring to the public market an asset that serves a nationally important function for our country. This asset, WIP Terminal, is of significant strategic importance because it underscores the importance of our fuel infrastructure and energy security.
Having recently taken the helm as JSE Group CEO, the final listing of 2025 is also the first for Livingston Morrison, who described the nature of WIP Terminal's entry to the main market.
West Indies Petroleum is being listed by way of introduction, a process that allows a company whose shares are already widely held to be admitted to the exchange without raising new capital or issuing new shares at the time of listing. With the addition of West Indies Petroleum, investment options have increased to 105 listed companies and 161 listed securities. Steady expansion of our market reflects continued confidence in the exchange as a trusted platform for growth, transparency, and long-term value creation.
WIP Terminal is a direct subsidiary of WIP Energy, with the ultimate parent company being West Indies Petroleum, for which Charles Chambers also serves as CEO.
The decision to list WIP Terminal on the JSE reflects several strategic imperatives. Firstly, it creates transparency and price discovery for this critical asset. The public market provides a mechanism for Jamaicans to participate in ownership of infrastructure that serves their country. Second, this listing is central to a broader reorganization of West Indies Petroleum. We're positioning the overall company for efficiency across all segments of the business. Third, this structure positions us for the future. The Caribbean energy landscape is evolving, and Jamaica has the potential to serve as a regional energy hub.
Just over 11 billion ordinary shares at 50 cents per share are on offer, a market capitalization of approximately 5.59 billion Jamaican dollars. Romario Sterling, Manager Capital Markets VM Wealth Management Limited, which served as lead arranger and broker for the listing, spoke to the broader market implications.
For investors, this listing expands the investable universe on the Jamaica Stock Exchange by introducing exposure to the bunker fuel and petroleum logistics sector, providing portfolio diversification opportunity, especially as WIP currently owns one of the most important and largest energy infrastructure assets in Jamaica.
The company's board includes industry veteran Gordon Shirley, alongside fellow directors Tariq Felix, Kurt Booth, Amanda Levine, and Carl Townsend, bringing expertise across petroleum, finance, law, and corporate governance, as well as a stellar track record.
We serve major international shipping lines, cruise companies, fuel retailers, and manufacturers. Our facilities at Port Esquivel and Ocho Rios provide strategic access to Jamaica's major shipping lanes and transportation networks. We also operate as a special economic zone, providing advantages to fuel import, storage, and distribution that benefit our customers and contribute to competitive fuel pricing in Jamaica.
And for the WIP Terminal chairman, the throttle of possibility is now open and extends even beyond Jamaican shores.
Looking ahead, we see significant opportunity. The cruise industry is experiencing robust growth in the Caribbean. Current trends point to increased Caribbean itineraries and increased and growing demand for marine fuel. Regional trade continues to expand, and Jamaica's strategic location positions us to serve shipping traffic throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.